The next morning, while Nurse Ducat is smoothing the sheets at the foot of his bed, Yossarian thrusts his hand up her skirt. She shrieks and rushes away, and Dunbar grabs her bosom from behind. When a furious doctor finally rescues her, Yossarian tries to plead insanity. He says that he has a recurring dream about a fish. He is assigned an appointment with Major Sanderson, the hospital psychiatrist. Sanderson, however, is more interested in discussing his own problems than Yossarian's. Yossarian's friends visit him in the hospital. Dobbs again offers to kill Colonel Cathcart, and, finally, after Yossarian admits that he thinks that people are trying to kill him and that he has not adjusted to the war, Major Sanderson decides that Yossarian really is crazy and should be sent home. But, because of the identity mix-up perpetrated by Yossarian and Dunbar earlier in their hospital stay, there's a mistake, and Afa Shiori is sent home instead. Furious, Yossarian goes to see Dogdanika, but Dogdanika will not ground Yossarian for his insanity, rhetorically asking who would fight if all the crazy men got sent home. Yossarian goes to see Dobbs and tells him to go ahead and kill Colonel Cathcart. But Dobbs has finished his 60 missions and is waiting to be sent home. He no longer has a reason to kill Colonel Cathcart. When Yossarian says that Colonel Cathcart will simply raise the number of missions again, Dobbs says that he will wait and see, but that perhaps Or would help Yossarian kill the colonel. Or crashed his plane again while Yossarian was in the hospital and was fished out of the ocean. None of the life jackets in his plane worked because Milo took out the carbon dioxide tanks to use for making ice cream sodas. Now, Or is tinkering with the stove that he is trying to build in his and Yossarian's tent, and he suggests that Yossarian try flying a mission with him for practice in case he ever has to make a crash landing. Yossarian broods about the rumored second mission to Bologna. Or is making noise and irritating him, and Yossarian imagines killing him, which Yossarian finds a relaxing thought. They talk about women. Or says they do not like Yossarian, and Yossarian replies that they are crazy. Or tells Yossarian that he knows Yossarian has asked not to fly with him, and he offers to tell Yossarian why a naked girl was hitting him with her shoe outside Nately's whore's little sister's room in Rome. Yossarian laughingly declines. The next time Or flies a mission, he again crashes his plane into the ocean. This time, his survival raft drifts away from the others and he disappears. The men are dismayed when they learn that General Pakim has transferred Shaiskopf, now a colonel, to his staff. Pakim is pleased because he thinks the move will increase his strength compared to that of his rival, General Dreidel. Colonel Shaiskopf is dismayed by the news that he cannot bring his wife along and that he will no longer be able to conduct parades every afternoon. Shaiskopf immediately irritates his colleagues in group headquarters, and Pakim takes him along for an inspection of Colonel Cathcart's squadron briefing. At the preliminary briefing, the men are displeased to learn that they will be bombing an undefended village into rubble. They don't know that the only purpose of the missions is to impress General Pakim with the clean aerial photography enabled by their bomb patterns. When Pakim and Shaiskopf arrive, Cathcart becomes angry that another colonel has appeared to rival him. He gives the briefing himself, and, though he feels shaky and lacks confidence, he makes it through and congratulates himself on a job well done under pressure. On the bombing run, Yossarian has a flashback to the mission during which Snowden died, and he panics. When Mugwort starts pulling daredevil stunts, he threatens to kill Mugwort if he does not follow orders. He is worried that Mugwort will hold a grudge, but, after the mission, Mugwort seems concerned only about Yossarian's health. Yossarian has begun seeing Nurse Ducat, and he enjoys making love to her on the beach. Sometimes, while they sit looking at the ocean, Yossarian thinks about all the people who have died underwater, including Or and Clevinger. One day, Mugwort is buzzing the beach in his plane as a joke, when he accidentally flies too low and the propeller slices Kid Samson in half. Kid Samson's body splatters all over the beach. Back at the base, everyone is occupied with the disaster. Mugwort, meanwhile, does not land his plane but keeps flying higher and higher. Yossarian runs down the runway yelling at Mugwort to come down, but he knows what Mugwort is going to do. Mugwort crashes his plane into the side of a mountain, killing himself. Colonel Cathcart is so upset that he raises the number of missions to 65. When Colonel Cathcart learns that Dognanika was also killed in the crash, he raises the number of missions to 70. Actually, Dognanika was not killed in the crash, but the records which Dognanika, hating to fly, bribed Yossarian to alter maintained that the doctor was in the plane with Makwat, collecting some flight time. Dognanika is surprised to hear that he is dead, and his wife in America, who receives a letter to that effect from the military, is shattered. Heroically, she is cheered to learn that she will be receiving a number of monthly payments from various military departments for the rest of her life, as well as sizable life insurance payments from her husband's insurance company. Husbands of her friends begin to flirt with her, and she dyes her hair. In Pianosa, Dognanika is ostracized by the men, who blame him for the increased number of missions they are required to fly. He is no longer allowed to practice medicine and realizes that, in one sense, he really is dead. He sends a passionate letter to his wife, begging her to alert the authorities that he is still alive. She considers the possibility, but after receiving a form letter from Colonel Cathcart expressing regret over her husband's death, she moves her children to Lansing, Michigan, and leaves no forwarding address.